Okay, welcome to the latest show for the Not Lame Experience, where we go into my boxes and boxes of stuff, many of which are in my other office, which is much larger than this one here, and I reach into them and pull out CDs from the history of Not Lame. And this particular box appears to have CDs, as I look at them on my desk here, and I'm going to hold them up in a second, from about, geez, anywhere from 4 to 7 years ago, from what I can tell. So let's start talking. We are going to talk about Blue Cartoon from Austin, Texas. Blankety Blank. The Affection. All Night Chemists. You can see that there. And Suzy y los Cuatro from Spain, if I'm not mistaken. I should know that, but I'm pretty sure about that, actually. And these particular bands are strewn out all over the musical landscape. The Affection is a band, and I'll include some links below so you can check them out. That is one of those records that just was completely overlooked by power pop fans. I tried to sort of push this a little bit on Not Lame back in 2003, 2004 when this came out, and to not much effect, unfortunately. I always thought this band sounded a lot like a more straight up, in your face Gripweeds meets the Beat or 2020. Definitely a new wavy kind of modern post new wavy sound, whatever the hell that is. I don't. Sometimes the words we use to describe music are so inane. Sorry about that. But this is one that's pretty easy to find out there. If you just type in The Affection with an E, with that, it should come up reasonably well. You can find this one quite ease for a couple of dollars on the internet, and maybe if I get some time, I'll include the links for that below. This band, Blankety Blank, Is This Your Pill? This was a CD that we put up on the site for a very brief time because the band disappeared, and then I couldn't find them. And I tried for many years to sort of reconnect and locate the band, to no avail. And if I'm not mistaken, briefly about 3 years or so ago, I made a brief connection with them, and I can't remember the guy's name. It was really nice, and he had some another project that we put up on the site before it closed. But this is the one that I always was really fond of, and it did extremely well, I think, for a very brief time, where we had a couple, 20, 30 copies in a couple weeks were gone, and then it was off the site because we couldn't get any more. So I hope you really like the sound. I don't know how quite to describe it with it, but it's just definitely one of those sort of modern day power poppy kind of bands, and I can't find my description that we used to have on the Not Lame site as well, unfortunately. Now let's talk about Blue Cartoon. Blue Cartoon is probably going to be known by a lot of you if you've been listening to independent power pop in the last 15 years and buying music at the old Not Lame site. This was a band that was always very popular on the site. Sold lots and lots of copies, and justifiably so. Why? Because they had a really sort of laid-back, smooth, silky sound that reminded me an awful lot, consistently, of Michael Carpenter's body of work. Is probably the best way I would describe it. If you're not familiar with Michael Carpenter, you need to be. Not Lame released, I think, 5 records from Michael over the years, and Michael has released a large body of work in the last 12, 13 years that is easily found at the letter MCARP.com. I highly urge you to check out Michael Carpenter. And Blue Cartoon's material is available digitally. I believe some of the CDs are still in print. By the time I post this, I will have done some research and put the relevant links so you can purchase their music that is available. But this is very much top shelf independent power pop, and if it's a band that you're not familiar with, now is a very good time to do a little research and check them out. Here's a band called All Night Chemists. I don't know an awful lot about them. They were on the site very briefly for about a year with 2 records. This is the debut record. And both of the records are still available on CD Baby, and I will include the links and any other links for other online retailers that may have it as well. I'm not sure if Cool Cat has it. If they do, I'll include the links here as well. But this is a band that I'm surprised I have never seen anybody mention on any of the Power Pop blogs, it seems like. I might be mistaken there. There might be some reviews from years back, but certainly none of the forums, and I don't quite know why. I always found them sort of be a very atmospheric, more pop-oriented Wilco. A very intense, dense, highly produced sound is the best way that I can sort of encapsulate what they're doing, but everything is highly crafted, extremely well arranged, and has very intense song arcs to them, and a lot of emotion imbued in every single track. Both their records I highly recommend, and again, I will include links so you can check them out below. Now, as for Susie and Los Cuatro, and I don't think it's Suzy, because sometimes you hear the word Suzy with the name Susie, but I believe in this case it is Susie. I don't know a lot about this band. They've released quite a few records over the years, almost all of them on import, usually available from Get Hip here in the United States, but mostly on Spanish labels and on Japanese distributed labels. This one was on the Wizard and Vinyl label, run by Daisuke Kambe, who in a very short period of time, about 6 or 7 years, released massive volumes of power pop oriented releases, almost all of which I would recommend if you can find them. Unfortunately, the label met its demise, like pretty much everybody, about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. But this is one of those releases on there. And how to describe them is sort of a punkier, edgier, more direct Go-Go's that remind me a lot of Nushu. If you're not familiar with Nushu, you should be. And Nushu had released one of the best records that was in my top 20 back in 2010. And actually, they're going to be featured in the upcoming Power Pop Prime book, the Volume 9 book, which focuses on the year 2010. That's going to be shipping here very, very soon. And that book focuses on the best Power Pop releases of 2010 and has interviews with 41 of the artists that are featured in this book, and comes with 3 CDs. And naturally, now that I'm talking about it, I'll include a link below if you want to order that book. It's going to be out. I'm going to have some updates here soon. It's a little delayed, but probably somewhere it should be shipping or by certainly January 20th, I hope. I'm not very happy about that, but had some problems with some of the suppliers here. And that is going to do it for this episode of the Not Lame Experience. Most importantly, get down below and listen to the samples to some of this stuff, and then go out there onto the big wide world internet and do your investigation. And if you like what you hear, please, by all means, purchase their albums or their songs, because this is how independent music is able to sustain itself, and it's very, very crucial that you support these artists. And if you are indeed enjoying and using their music, because it goes a long, long way. All right, thanks so much, and we'll see you on the next Not Lame Experience. Take care.